Hello everyone, this is Monday with the Mayor. I'm Joy Holt, and today we are in Jasper with Mayor Terry Seitz. Hey Terry.
Hi, good to see you, Joy.
Great to see you, long time no see. I'm glad you're joining us today.
Glad to be here, thank you.
Great, you guys have a lot of stuff going on.
You say that every time.
I know, well you do. You're a wonderful city. You have tons of stuff going on. So, okay, my kids love it here, by the way, and we are looking forward to the Chalk Walk, so we can't wait for that.
Chalk Walk coming up first week, I think first Saturday in June, if I'm not mistaken, and an outstanding event. A little background. Kyle Rupert, this will be really getting into things this year, the second year since he's been on board with us. Kit did a great job before that, but that event actually was commenced by our current Director of Community Development and Planning, Darla Blasey. Darla had been the Arts Director at that time, and so I think she still kind of considers this her baby. She stays away. It's not her job. She's on the Arts Board, but I kind of think very fondly of that event and what the work that Darla's done. So that's not on your list.
No, it's not.
See, we messed that up already.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, to start out, let's just start with another fun thing. So there's Chalk Walk for kids. There's auction for adults, right?
Yes, that's it. We have a city auction this Saturday. Starts at 8 o'clock at the Street Department, we do these on an ongoing basis, but kind of as needed. These are things that are either been junk assets or assets that are no longer working for us. Some of them have aged. Some of them are just very unusual things, police department stuff. I think we have about 24 bicycles that have never been claimed, and that happens pretty regularly. I think, yes, we do have a black man purse.
Oh, nice.
So that's been noticed a couple of times on the bill of sales. People kind of got a kick out of that. City auctions are very unusual. So, and the revenue goes back to the department that has it, but essentially goes into other funds, or maybe it goes into the general fund, whatever, it comes back. And it's a way of essentially getting some return. We have very strict standards about what we can do. And so this is one way the public can kind of come smile with us. We are selling hot dogs that day also, and that will go to our puppy fund. Our street department, when they pick up a dog, police are called or they get called directly. We do keep it until we find an owner, and we will keep it up to 3 days, and then we will take it to the Humane Society. But during that time frame, whether it's overnight, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, we have volunteers in the street department staff that actually will feed and do that. So buy a hot dog, and money will go for a good cause.
What a lovely thing. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
yes.
So 8 o'clock Saturday is city auction, city surplus auction.
Food in an auction.
Yes. Learn a lot.
Like
yeah, perfect.
Yes, okay. So, well, something else is coming up towards the end of this week as well. And we've got Arbor Day coming up. So the Parklands is having the blessing and dedication for trees. It's at the Parklands.
That's correct.
Yes.
Well, we actually have kind of a two-stage event every year. One, we have a tree giveaway, which was last Friday, that the Park Department gives away 1,000 trees, and they went very well. Again, they always sell out, so to speak, and that was done. I want to thank Rob Guxell at Steve Hall and their staff for all the work they do, and the Hobbig Center staff members, everybody that helps out too. And then there's officially a blessing of a tree every year in Jasper. Our history with wood in this area, wood for beneficial uses, wood in the business application is something we acknowledge, and Nancy Eckerly at the Chamber, Patoka 2000, does have us bless a tree every year. I'm not a person that gives the blessing. I don't have that. I don't have that direct contact necessarily to do that. Usually, it's Father Ray Brenner from St. Joseph's, and this year we're doing a bicentennial tree. It's a tree that the state of Indiana has recommended each community plant, and that will be done at the Parklands. It will be a private ceremony. Normally, we open it to the public. I'm not sure we tell people to get away, but we really can't. It's a construction zone, so in fact, I've got to be able to find my way to the tree. I'm not exactly sure where it's at yet, but we have also used some stones and created a little sitting area around this tree, and it'll be designated. So when that park opens a little later, we're still hopeful for sometime in the second quarter. I think that will tie in very well with another question you wanted to ask.
Oh. No, go ahead.
No, that's good. The Parklands process had a very challenging winter. Good news is during the winter it allowed the building on site, which is called the pavilion, to be moved along very well. But in the actual grounds area, to be able to put things that bolster the trail all the way out, the little side support, some of the other elements of the park, they're really just getting underway now, kind of, I guess, in the final stages. I would say we're well above 90%, but I also felt that it's important let's get it right.
Right.
We don't have to open up on anybody's timeline. We do want to open in the warm weather season, but ultimately my guess is still hopefully sometime this second quarter. And when we know more, we'll have a date, we'll announce that. We're just probably not quite ready to give a date yet until we get a few more of those check boxes.
Sure. Everything takes time. That's right.
And my thought is it will take 2 to 3 years really to do some maturity in the grounds and stuff itself. So we'll just ask people to, kind of respect the fact, let the grass come in, and I don't think we'll have any restricted areas, but we hope that people again will understand that some of the dirt is settling and some of everything has to kind of grow out.
Sure.
And that may be, again, it might be 2 or 3 years till we really get it to where it's like it's a more of a play area, but it will get there.
Yes, it will. Time takes care of everything. All right, so moving on, I want to talk about this 24-hour medication disposal unit that is at the police station.
Right.
Great addition to the police station. Tell me why that's so important for the community.
Well, we know some of the opioid issue, not only in our city but in our state, is from prescription. Not all. A significant number is truly from the street, so to speak, and that they've been cut and mixed with things that you should never put in your body. But if you have prescriptions, another thing that's driven that, and the city has amended its drug policy too, if you have a prescription that is expired, it's expired. If you have a prescription that is another member of your family's prescription, it is for that member of the family. More and more as workplaces look to this, if even as mayor, if I am, let's say I take a random drug test and I test positive for something I don't have a prescription for, let's say my wife had some kind of surgery and one day I had some pain and I took something and I test for that, they could come back and actually you can't necessarily fire a city official, elected official, but an employee. I'm part of the employee program. So workplaces are adopting that. It is much easier right now when this prescription is outdated because they can start to fail, or when it's not your prescription, it's outdated to prevent other family members from getting it. Dump it. Get rid of that prescription. Follow your doctor's orders, but they have deadlines or end dates for a reason, either for your health or so that others don't do it, and never take somebody's prescription. You put your job at jeopardy, and that made it a very nice extension of being able to offer that service rather than randomly as currently the state police and others do. It's nice that they do that service and that it still be continued, but this gives, hey, no questions asked, take it in there. It's really not anything for criminals necessarily to use. It's just a nice safe place to go to say, I want these out of my home. I've got young children, I've got grandkids, I've got children, and they're not for them. So let me take that responsibility and give it elsewhere.
And environmentally, it's wonderful too.
Yeah, that's another good thing, Joy. Very true. Remember, the city of Jasper is responsible for every bit of water that goes into the Patoka River. That's our basin. And that means clean water, which generally is storm water, but also treated water. And treating something you flush down a toilet is not that easy to do. It takes extra effort, extra chemicals and things, and we still don't want them to get into that. We don't want them put in the trash. Then you're putting them, and maybe not inside the city of Jasper, but you're putting them wherever we take our trash in a neighboring county and pay to dump that. Well, then it's going into that landfill. There are better places for it, and they will be then taken by authorities to be able to do something such as incineration or things that's more appropriate. Very good.
Correct. So great. So that's 24 hours, and it's at the police station.
Yeah, it's at the lobby of the police station. And you know what? It's a great place to be there anyway. It's nice to see our dispatchers don't mind. You can wave, but you don't have to go into the police station.
Right.
The lobby's always open 24/7.
Right. Okay, and so speaking of safety and keeping the town safe.
All right.
Okay, so the water department just recently received the 2018 Wendell Ledoux, I hope he's French, Wendell Ledoux Utility Safety Award, and they're going to be receiving that in the summer in Las Vegas.
Somebody has to go to Vegas.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, we took a poll and said, who wants to go to Vegas? Actually, I believe this was an award that is no one from Indiana had ever even been nominated, and we were nominated by another group within the state. So not only did we not self-nominate, we didn't know we were ineligible to win. Then to win it, it's wonderful. So we congratulate really the department, which is the Gas and Water Department, and also our Personnel Safety Loss Control Department for the approach to safety, whether that's on the work site or that is in just preparation for the work. We love it when our people that work for us go back home as good as health when they arrive. So congratulations to them.
Yes, and so last thing, redevelopment, and that's part of safety. And the more you become new and restructure, the better you are. So redevelopment has been a lot of your focus for the city.
Yes.
And I just want to talk a little bit about what the Library Board and the Jasper Arts Commission has come together to do, because when will they be turning dirt down there? Do you know?
Well, before turning dirt, I think there's going to be something that I will call similar to the demo day that we did for River Center. What will be demoed right now? The bidding process has been complete or is wrapping up. For both the power plant and the Hoosier Desk site. The Hoosier Desk site, which will be Library Board and Arts Board, essentially is going to be a little bit of what I would call deconstruction, to my understanding. There are parts of the Hoosier Desk building that we'd like to retain. And so we'll be kind of removing those first. They will be used in the new Jasper Cultural Center, probably not in any structural role, but in accenting or also reflecting again what was on the site. Optimally, it's been really nice to be able to use part of that site. Unfortunately, with a new build, and these are public dollars, a new build is still more efficient and effective and cost effective than restoration. And when you can see what's gone into combining new and old across the street at River Center, a smaller portion of that went down last week. That was basically going to open a way for more new build because it just was better serving today's clientele. That's what you run into. So back on the other side of the street to the cultural center, I think we'll probably do, it's my goal, and I've expressed that to the groups, that we do some kind of demo day when they're ready to start picking or taking pieces apart, and then there will be more of a demo, and then probably that would occur maybe in May.
Okay.
Sorry to answer the question.
Yeah.
Probably the formal groundbreaking would be probably the same group involved. We hope would be sometime post Strassenfest, Labor Day timeframe.
Okay.
And then that would probably start, my estimate, a 2-year project.
Sure. Moving along quickly. It seems quickly.
Well, if you
now,
say quickly, it's like,
yeah.
okay, well, I was telling somebody, this past Saturday, we had a statewide teacher sorority meet at Clubhouse 61. They held their convention here. And I went out to greet them Saturday morning. And I'm explaining where we're sitting and how the clubhouse came from the country club, et cetera. And I went back, well, like 3 or 4 years ago, and then I paused and I go, no, actually, that was in 2012 when they announced they were going to close, and it's now 2018.
Right.
Thank you for saying quickly. I things can't come quick enough for me, but I'm very patient because we are doing things that most communities have not done, and we hear that. Oh, no one's ever done that before. Right. Well, because no one's ever done that before or in that way, it does take time. And the results will be outstanding.
And it's exciting to see something life breathed back into it again, especially if there's people still here who remember it when it was alive the first time.
We have a little bit of that. Jasper Lofts, Vine Street Lofts, River Center will have some of that. And in a way, with being able to remove some of the elements of Hoosier Desk, the Cultural Center will too.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you so
We're all
much
excited.
for sitting
Thank
here
you
with
very
us.
much.
Thanks. That's been Monday with the Mayor here from Jasper. I'm Joy Holt.